Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we want to look at module 2, and we are going to start on our mergers and acquisition on module 2. So we're going to start by defining what do we mean by mergers. So you'll see that a merger basically is a legal or consolidation of two businesses entities into one. So we have when we have a consolidation of two businesses into one business. We call it a merger. So basically, it's an agreement that unites two existing companies into new company. So basically, according to now the description that we have according to the textbook, it reads a merger occurs when two companies of roughly equal size, that is, they are equal size in the form of market strength and asset value, and decide to combine. So this is an expression that we have, and when they combine, they will make a stronger business unit. So this is the expression that we are given. And moving on to acquisition, we can also understand acquisition as the purchase of one business or company by another business or company. So basically, that's acquisition. We also have a textbook explanation that we have, which reads acquisition occurs when a larger company buys out a smaller one. So we have a scenario whereby we want the larger buying the smaller business. So there are several advantages offered by mergers and acquisitions. So what are the advantages what are the advantages that we can deduce from mergers and acquisition? But basically, we are seeing that in both a merger in acquisition, we have got the combining of two businesses into one. So obviously, when they combine, they are going to make a formidable force. So what advantages then can we deduce from that? So you're going to see that obviously they are going to operate at a larger scale because they've combined due to a combination of both capital from company A and B. And obviously, they will enjoy economies of scale. Those are benefits of producing in large quantities. Economies of scale, and also we are going to see that there is also going to be an expansion of economies of scope, whereby they are going to attain a larger customer base. So the customer base of company A and the customer base of company B are combined. They will lead to a more a more proportionate increase in terms of customers. And then we can also deduce the issue of synergies, whereby we are saying 1 plus 1 is obviously going to lead us to more like 3. So basically, that's the essence of synergies. So we are saying the power of two companies are combining will form a formidable force, which is much stronger. So that is synergies that can be enjoyed by mergers. So those are some of the benefits that we can deduce from mergers and acquisition. So according to benefits that we are given here, according to textbook benefits, we are given marketing, whereby higher turnover, addition of new markets, access to new market research, access to new market research information, adding new products and services. Those are what we have under the marketing. So these are marketing benefits by whenever two companies combine. And then we've got also production. From the production point of view, what are the benefits? Greater use of existing plant and machinery, and then increased economies of scale. And then we have a further explanation in terms of additional building and equipment, new manufacturing processes, new sources of raw materials. So this is all under production. And then we have finance again, better use of joint resources. Obviously, there is going to be a combination of resources from the two companies. And then lastly, we've got management and personnel, whereby you're saying acquiring additional management skills, key workers and trained staff, access to training facilities. So basically on management and personnel, we are saying skills of the management from both of the companies. We are going to have a combination which obviously is going to lead to a diverse skill base that will be in the new company. So that is what we have in terms of mergers and acquisition. And we have looked at the benefits that we can deduce or advantages that we can deduce from mergers and acquisitions. So moving on, we now are now going to look at the change. So it is important to understand what is organizational change and what is business change. So you see that organizational change, it refers to a structured process of making a significant alterations to various aspects of the company in order to improve its performance. So when we have got structured processes that are making some changes, or we call them significant alterations to various aspects of the company, we call that an organizational change. So what are the examples that we can try to give whenever there is a business change or an organizational change? We can have a change when there's implementation of new technologies at a business. When you've got implementation of new technologies at a business, it will lead to a change. And then if there's a restructuring of departments again, we can notice change. This is also a business change. Revising business processes again will lead to business changes. And then launching new products, and then we also can talk about also adopting new marketing strategies. So it also leads to organizational or business change. So in terms of the information that we are given there, we must be able to manage the change. Remember, whenever there's a change, the most basic negative effect is that it will lead to workers to have fear of the unknown. They are afraid of what they don't know whenever there's change. They don't actually know where they are insecure, but they are just insecure about the change that is coming in. Very important for us also to understand that change is inevitable. As stated here, that change is inevitable, meaning change is unavoidable. We cannot avoid change. So why can we have a scenario whereby we are saying change cannot be avoided? It's because of, for example, populations are growing. So there's need for change. Natural resources are diminishing. Knowledge is expanding. Technology becomes more advanced. Markets are changing. That is led to changes in the business processes. So we must accept these changes and act on them to stay competitive in the business environment. So that's the basis. So moving on, you see that some of the major pressures of change in businesses are stated here. And these are the pressures of change in businesses. So, or what we are saying is these are factors that are driving change in businesses. So we have them stated here, whereby the first one is saying the economy has changed from an industrial-based to an information-based economy. So obviously, this will need to change whenever we have a transition from industrial-based to information-based. So second point is saying the company must find a balance between the wonder of high technology and the demands of human nature. This can also be a pressure that is leading to change. We are part of a global economy, and obviously the global economy is the international economy, whereby it's also described by change. There are transformations that are describing the global economy. So obviously, our local economy also has to keep abreast and change, which is going to affect our business also. So basically, this is the force also that can lead to change. We must concentrate more on long-term strategic planning. Long-term strategic planning is we are being sustainable, so that we make our business sustainable by making sure that we prepare for the future. So that will need changes to the way we are doing our things or our activities at the moment. So basically, those are some of the forces that we have. They are being stated, are going down to the last point. You can just try to browse through. So moving on, you see that whenever change is implemented, there is bound to be resistance to change. There's bound to be resistance to change. The resistance to change is people or workers that are within that business or organization are declining the change that is coming in. And mainly because they are afraid of the unknown, fear of the unknown. So is the main driver. Then moving on to resistance of change, it means most people do not like change and will resist it. People get comfortable in their positions, and even if they were not happy, if they are not too happy in their working environment. So the statement just trying to say, even if people are not comfortable in the way that they are working at the moment, they still are afraid of change. If they hear about change, they will resist. So basically, that's the nature of workers at workplaces, that they resist change. So what are the reasons that can lead to that? We have them stated here. Workers are afraid that they may lose their jobs or be demoted. So that's a very, very clear scenario that we are given, that they will be afraid that they will lose their jobs. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. maybe more qualified workers are going to be brought in the business, and then they get maybe retrenched, or they get demoted to lower positions. So next reason, changes may make the knowledge and skills of certain workers obsolete, like the movement that we've just explained of moving from industrial based to information based. It means we might see some workers having their skills are becoming obsolete, or are not necessary according to the approach that is being used by the business at the moment. And then next one, we've got people fear of the unknown. This is the basic reason that we've been talking about. They're just afraid of what is going to happen tomorrow, can be a reason for resistance. And then if you look at the last one, saying there will be resistance of if changes affect a person's power and influence. So obviously, those are some of the reasons. So how can we manage those reasons for resistance? How can we manage all these points? So we have also that stated on ways to reduce resistance. So we have to educate the workers before change is implemented, and discuss issues openly. That is very important, that we educate them, and maybe try to explain in terms of the benefits that we can enjoy as a business or a company out of the change that is coming upon. So that is also an approach which can be effective. Then I'll look at the second one: allow people who will be affected to be part of the process. So make them part of the process, so that they know, they understand the significance of the change and on how it is going to impact the company's processes. And then we go to the next one: support people who have problems with adjustments by listening, providing training, etc. So this can also be a reason. So looking at the last one, if changes need to be swift, or the initiators have considerable power, they can implement changes by threatening workers with loss of jobs, job changes, etc., to get their compliance. So this is also an aggressive approach that can also be used in form of by implementing changes, that is by threatening workers with loss of jobs, so that they get compliant. So it becomes an aggressive approach. So this is what we have in terms of ways to reduce resistance. But moving on, you see that we've got some terms that you just need to understand according to this module that we're looking at. We've got a micro enterprise, a small enterprise, informal sector, part-time entrepreneurs or corpreneurs. So these are the terms that we looked at when we were looking at module 2, but you can just go through the explanations that we are given here. So thank you for listening, and please let's stay tuned for more videos to come. As for this video, I'm signing out.